Hi, this is Ted with Messages from the Heart. Just recently, two major studies have come out saying that climate change is actually progressing more rapidly than we ever thought, and that the time frame that we have to turn it around is actually much narrower than is thought before. And that makes sense since all of those predictions were predicated on making some shifts that never happened due to basically inaction from our governments and from ourselves. We have to take responsibility for what's happening on our planet. And there's no question in scientists' mind that men's human being activity is making a difference. Sure, there's all kinds of galactic things that are happening and solar flares, and there are things happening within the universe that are affecting it. But there are many things that we can do to help ensure that our planet actually survives. Now, we know the planet will survive. The question is, will there be any living beings left on it, including humans? So the question is, what can we do to make a difference? There are all kinds of technologies out there that we know are part of the future. You know, solar is now very economically viable, and wind, and there's so many other options. Free energy is out there if there is the lack of suppression of keeping these things under wraps. So we know that there are answers out there. The question is, how can we make sure that these come out quickly enough to make a difference? The whole mentality has to shift, again, from the old guard protecting their way and their huge money-making fossil fuel industries, and instead look at the future of the planet and look at everyone involved and saying, how can we create a planet that's based on cooperation, love, and abundance for all, rather than a planet that's being exploited for the benefit of a tiny, tiny, tiny minority who's in control and use their political and monetary clout to keep everybody else basically enslaved and in a situation where life is simply a struggle, a life and death struggle that is rapidly being lost due to these incredible floods and fires and hurricanes and just the sheer number of very catastrophic things happening that are just a harbinger of things that are to come if things don't shift. So the question is, how can we support the younger generation that's really starting to make things happen, whether it's the young people that are being voted into office now and coming into the new legislature, whether it's the group of young kids who are actually suing the federal government and saying, hey, you're responsible for our future. So think about what you can do. This really is a question of future generations and what their life is going to be like. And it's our responsibility to look at our life and say, how can I do my share? What can I do in my own personal life? What can I do as an example for others? And how can I take a bigger role in terms of really making sure that our planet is in a beautiful, pristine shape for generations to come? This is such a beautiful and amazing planet. We're so fortunate to be here. And the question is, at this point in time, is how can we make sure that this new world that we know is coming can get here quickly enough to supplant the current situation where greed takes the place of empathy and fear is created in order to keep things status quo, instead of looking to the future and saying, how can we create an amazing future for every living being on our beautiful planet? Thank you so much. This is Ted from Messages from the Heart, sending you light and love always. Thank you.